Well, good evening, everyone. I hope you're having a thumbs up Thursday. It's not really a thumbs up Thursday, though, especially with those showers continuing to roll through the Ohio Valley region. Although, as we step into tomorrow, that story might change. Although we might be seeing some early morning fog over the next couple of days, we're definitely going to see a bit of a step back from all that rain that we've received throughout this week, especially with the new season. It definitely brought a lot of rain with us. As we take a look outside now at our cameras over Wheeling and Steubenville. It's just looking nice and beautiful outside. We can see a couple of rain pitter-pattering over near that Wheeling camera, but that Steubenville camera is still looking fairly clear, maybe a little misty, but you can still see those bright night lights still looking mighty beautiful. As we take a look at some of those temperatures sticking around into those upper 60s for the majority of the region. It's beginning to start to cool off slowly, but those dew points are still looking fairly moist, sticking around into those lower and middle 60s. Now, this makes sense considering all the rain that's happened over the last couple of days, leaving everything nice and moist, and that increased cloud cover. It's definitely heating things up and making things a lot more humid as you step outside. Whether we can wear, whether we can breathe, almost a little reminiscent of those later July days. As we look at our radar now, we can still see a couple of showers tracking through the region, mainly over here through this Belmont County, Harrison County area, just past I-77. We'll continue to monitor them as they make their way through, but these showers look fairly light overall. As we look over the last 24 hours, definitely received a lot of rain over this area as well. Again, mainly in that Belmont and Harrison County areas is where we've seen the majority of that rain, but even over here near Brooke County, definitely got a significant amount of rainfall, about 2 to 3 inches of rain over the last 24 hours, with the majority of the region getting about half to a full inch of rain overall. Definitely a thorough soaking of the Ohio Valley within those last 24 hours. In terms of what we can expect later tonight, again, more of those rain showers just rolling through lightly. Temperatures only come down into about those upper middle 50s for you, with fog developing as we step into the later portions of the morning. Definitely noted for your morning commute tomorrow. Should be sticking around until about 8 a.m. when it begins to lift up and make way for some partly cloudy skies. A bit of a warmer day tomorrow as well, sticking around into those upper middle 70s for you. Don't forget about that Friday night Rivals game. We see the St. Clair Red Devils taking on the Wheeling Park Patriots for our Friday night Rivals game. Now, you can catch this live on Comet at 7 o'clock, or you can catch it with Sports Friday on the Go with Bill Phillips and Don Sloan, with a couple other games slated. It should be a good time to watch. Fairly warm evening tomorrow as well. We start out in those lower 70s and make our way down into those middle 60s for you. But overall, still remaining partly cloudy. Not really any rain in sight. Should be making for a fantastic Friday night for some football. And over the course of this weekend, we'll continue to see these fairly foggy mornings as we begin to see that rain evaporating out. We'll see those clouds sticking around for a little while longer to make for some warmer and muggier nights. We'll see temperatures on Saturday night come down into about, again, those upper 50s for you. But over the next couple of days, we'll continue to heat up into those unseasonably warm temperatures, sticking around into those upper 70s, lower 80s for the majority of the region. But overall, as even after that fog, we'll continue to see just partly to mostly cloudy skies overall. And through the rest of this weekend and rest of next week, we're really not seeing any signs of rain, maybe a couple scattered chances on Saturday. And as we step in early next week, a couple early signs of rain as well. But might be wondering why we might be seeing some of that rain, especially with the rest of the week looking fairly dry. Well, it has to do with these little twins in the tropics at the moment. We have an official tropical storm with Humberto, which will be located on the right. And to the left, we have a little invest known as 94L. Now, this, if it does develop into a tropical cyclone, this would be known as Imelda, which we typically don't like seeing that letter I, especially going into this later portion of the hurricane season. Now, they've been inching closer and closer to that east coast, but the main question for us, and a main question for a lot of people, I know myself, I do not like seeing the letter I whenever I'm forecasting any hurricanes, but why might that be the case? As we look at the forecast for them, again, it's going to be inching closer and closer. We're expecting a landfall, especially with that potential tropical cyclone Imelda over near the Carolinas, which could bring some rain later on into that Monday, Tuesday, which is why you're seeing that. But again, why do we get a little scared when we see that letter I, myself included? Well, it happens to be the letter in the alphabet with the most retired hurricane names on record. About 14 out of the 99 retired hurricanes on our Atlantic Basin list currently reside in the letter I category. Now, some of these notable ones we've known: Hurricane Ivan, which tracked some of its remnants through the Ohio Valley back in 2004. We have Hurricanes Irma and Hurricane Ian, which both decimated the Floridian area. And in terms of Louisiana, well, Hurricane Ida made its way through back in 2021. So on record, this isn't typically the best letter to come in with certain storms. Now, remember, when we're talking about retired hurricanes are those that are typically very catastrophic and very notable. So we typically take their names off of this list in order to make way for new names so that they don't replace that catastrophic effect that it had on those areas. But why is it the letter I that typically gets the most retired names on that list? Well, it typically coincides with that peak in the hurricane season. As we can see right here, this is typically where that peak occurs around mid-September. Now, we're already into about the end of September, so we're a little past this peak, but we did get off to a fairly slow start to the year, a bit of a drier patch, excuse me, as my arrow decides to want to glitch out. But overall, we did step a little further away from that peak with the drier start to the hurricane season. So while we are approaching the letter I, it is important to note that it was the most retired letter on the list, and we'll continue to keep an eye on that potential tropical cyclone as it makes its way closer and closer to the East Coast. Looking at your 9+1 forecast, a couple foggier mornings ahead, especially through the weekend, but that'll make way for some partly cloudy skies. And even as we step into Monday, Tuesday, a couple showers possible, especially with that potential tropical cyclone forecasted to make a landfall in the Carolinas. We'll continue to monitor that to see if we'll be getting any extra showers along the way. But even as we step into next week, we'll continue to see these partly cloudy skies, a bit warmer of temperatures sticking around into those middle high 70s, some even peaking out into the 80s over the course of your weekend. But as we step into the later portions of next week, we'll make way for some more sunnier skies, even though those temperatures still remain a little unseasonably warm. Well, that's all I got for you guys tonight. Don't forget to catch us live on Fox 9 at 10 and our show at 11 o'clock on NBC. So don't be afraid to keep an eye out for us as we go into later tonight. That's all I got for you guys. I hope you have a regular rest of your Thursday evening, and I hope you have a great start and a fantastic start to your Friday. Bye-bye.